Hello everyone, today we are discussing a chapter. The chapter name is Structural Organization in Animals. We have already studied that in unicellular organisms like mononeurons, protista, all functions like digestion, respiration, excretion and reproductions are carried out by a single cell because they are single cell organism. But in the case of multicellular organism, a group of similar cells along with their intercellular substances perform a specific function, okay, and they form tissue. So a group of cells which performing a specific function or set of specific functions, that is known as tissue. The term tissue was first used in 1682. The term tissue was first used in 1682 by the British botanist Nemia Grew. The term tissue was first time used in 1682 by British botanist Nemia Grew with the reference to the anatomy of plants. The term introduced to zoology by Xavier Bichat. The term tissue introduced into the zoology by Xavier Bichat. Okay. Then the histology is a branch of biology that deals with the study of tissues. So the study of tissues, the term that is histology. So in this chapter we are discussing different types of animal tissues. Animal tissues can be broadly classified into 4 types on the basis of their structure and the functions. That are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and the nervous tissue. So the basically the animal tissues are classified into, you can see this picture, okay, animal tissues are classified into epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue and the neural tissue. Muscle tissue otherwise known as muscular tissue and the neural tissue otherwise known as nervous tissue. Muscle tissue otherwise known as muscular tissue and the neural tissue otherwise known as nervous tissue. First of all, we are discussing about the epithelial tissue. So, in this chapter, we are discussing all these classifications we are discussing in this chapter. So, first of all, we are discussing the epithelial tissue. So, epithelial tissue, that tissue originated from the endoderm, ectoderm and the mesoderm. What is this endoderm, ectoderm and mesoderm? These three are this ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. These three are the germ layers. So, the organism which having these three germ layers, that is known as triploblastic organism. The organism which have these 3 layers, that is known as triploblastic organism, and the organism which having only 2 layers, ectoderm and the endoderm, and the middle layer, that is the mesoderm, is not developed. It having a mesoglial cells, that is known as diploblastic. Okay, so this epithelial tissue that originates from the ectoderm, endoderm and the mesoderm, and the function of this tissue is protection, secretion, filtration and the absorption. So the function depends upon where this tissue is present. Okay, in which organs the tissue is present. The function is depends upon the position or the location of the tissue. Okay, or the organ. So the function of this epithelial tissue is protection, secretion, filtration and the absorption. So the next tissue is connective tissue. Connective tissue is originated from the mesoderm cells. So the function is attachment, protection, storage, transport, locomotion and movement. Attachment, protection, storage, transport, locomotion and movement are the functions of the connective tissue. Then the next tissue is muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is originated from the mesoderm. So the muscle tissue, we know the functions of the muscles. It helps for the body movement. Okay. So the muscle tissue function is body movements, then the moves, blood, food, waste, etc. Okay. Then the next one is the neural tissue. Neural tissue that originated from the neural tissue means nervous tissue. That means neuron that originated from the ectoderm. And the function of this neural tissue is the conduction of impulse and control the activity of an organism. It controls the activity of an organism. So this is about the tissues. Okay, I hope all you can understand this one. Again, I am repeating. There are mainly the animal tissues can be broadly classified into 4 basic types. epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and the neural tissue. Epithelial tissue, endoderm, ectoderm, mesoderm, and the function is protection, secretion, filtration, and absorption. Connective tissue, mesoderm, originate from mesoderm, function, attachment, protection, storage, transport, locomotion, and the movement. Muscle tissue originate from the mesoderm cells, and the function is body movement, then movement of the blood, food, and the waste materials. Then the neural tissue that originates from the ectoderm, then the function is conduction of the nerve impulse and control the activities of the organism. Clear it is.